Hello viewers, welcome to UN Autonomous Colors. Today we are going to discuss about another new concept that is known as a Unix object, and that Unix concept is related to our topic that is known as a file management. Today we are going to discuss about the file management, some extra part which is represented in the part 2. So in this topic we are going to explain some different extra, or we can say some command, those are related to our file management. Now we can focus on the slide. Here we are going to discuss about some relevant topics like what are the different outlines related to this topic, like how to create a files and how to editing a files, then display some content of files, then how to counting some words in a file, then how to copying one file to another file, then how to rename a file, then we are learning what are the different procedures are related to our topic to deleting a specific file from our system. Now we are going to discuss how to create a file. We know that in Unix system it gives a platform through which we can create any type of files in our system, but here we are getting an idea how to generate a new file in our computer system. In this section we are going to create a specific file, and that file you can use the VI editor. In that VI editor to help to create ordinary files on any Unix system. Here you can simply need to give the following command. That command may be a VI. That VI provides the editor. By using that editor you can type some file name, then in that file name you are writing something text and statement. By using that statement you are easily creating some files statement. Now this section we are going to represent another part, like in this section provides a command, and that command will open a file with a given file name. If a user can create a file with a specific file name, then the file name must be saved with a specific that is known as an extension. In that extension a file must be opened. But here now user want to press the key like I, then to come with the edited mode. Whenever user can press the I, then it is always represented through edited mode, and once you are in the edit mode, then you can start writing your content in the file as in the following program. Whenever you are pressing this VI with the file name, that means you are getting an editor. In that editor must be opened with this file name. In that file name you are writing some text or statement. In the statement we are writing some statement like this is Unix file and I created it for the first time. I am going to save this content in this file. So this statement is represented in the editor. If a user want to save it, and that saving must be processed through this file name, and that file name must be present inside your system which is created through a specific user. So in this way we can create a specific file according to the user requirement. Instead of this file name you can write any name. If I want to create a file name like success, then you can write your success. You can write any name. This instead of this file name, then you are automatically you can generate a file with that name. Now you are going to discuss about the next part, like how to create that file and how to edit it. In that moment, once you are done with the program, the following steps you need to create and to edit it. Now here to press the escape sequence means escape button. Whenever you can press that escape button, then you come out to the edit mode, and in that edit mode you must to press two keys like Shift plus ZZ. Whenever user can press the two keys like Shift plus ZZ, then you are getting an environment together to come out the file completely. Now you will need to create that file, and you will now have a file which is created with file name in the current directory. In that directory we are going to create a file name with that specify section, and that specify section must be opened through VI editor. In that VI editor you must write a file name, that may be your success, that may be anything you can write instead of this file name. If you are writing the file name, then you are getting an editor environment or opening environment. In that environment you may proceed more than one statements in it. In this way we are getting our environment or interface through which you can edit our some relevant statements or related program statements in our Unix system. Next we are going to learning how to edit a file. In this section we are learning how to edit a file, and that file edit is always depends on that is known as a VI command, and that VI command helps to create an editor. In that editor user may create a new file, or user may write or save some file, then we can getting an environment to edit it. It is also possible in this section. Once the file is open, then you can come in the edit mode by pressing the key I. then you can proceed by editing the file. If you want to move here and they are inside a file, then you need to come out of the edit mode by pressing the key escape. If a user want to create a new file, in that moment user must press that I mode. If a user want to create some edit environment, user must press like that edit mode, means escape. By pressing that key like escape, then you are getting an environment. In that environment user can edit their files. First here I key to move the right side. Whenever user can press that L and that key, always press the right side. Whenever user can press the H, then your text should be in the left side. And whenever user can press the K, and that your file must be upside, automatically move to the upside. Whenever user can press the J, then your file must be moved to the downside. So in this way we are making our file movement in our system. There is no any problem which is possible in our Unix system. So user must, using that above keys, you can position your cursor wherever you want to edit. Once you are positioned, then you can use the I key to come in the edit mode. Once you are done the editing, then user must press that escape sequence in it. Finally, two keys like Shift plus ZZ together we can come out the file completely. That means user must proceed their file execution in different ways. But in the Unix system, user must take the help of that VI, but that VI editor provides an environment. Through that environment, user may create some new files by using that editor. If a user want to make another editing environment, in that moment user must press escape sequence, ESC. Whenever user can press that escape sequence, then automatically your user text or document must be opened through edit mode. In this way user must create their file as well as edit their file. So we can focus in the slide. In that slide already we are mentioning some keys here, I, H, K, Z. By using that keys we can move our file in some right side, left side, upside, as well as we can move to the downside. So in this way we can place our text or some statement in our execution file processing system. Next we are going to discuss how to display some content of a file in our Unix system. This is so beautiful and the wonderful technique through which we can present our display file contents which are stored in a Unix system by using that CAT command. By pressing that CAT command, we can display our contents of a file which is saved with a specific name. And here you can use the CAT command to see the content of a file. The following simple example are explained here how to create that file in the display mode. In that time user can take the help of $sign means Unix prompt, then you can type the command like cat which helps to display some content of a file, and that file must be named with that file name. In that name we can save our some statement. This is Unix file, I created it for the first time and I am going to save this content in this file. So in this way we can save that file in that file name, and it is a general way to display some content through this file section. If a user want to create that display mode, the line numbers by using that option like -B along with the cat command, then in this way we are getting an environment which can be saved or which can be displayed in the numbering state like 1 and 2. In 1 we are getting, this is a Unix file I created for the file first time. Then in second point we are getting, I am going to save this content in this file. So in this way we are breaking our test statement with a specific numbering, and that numbering is always represented through different aspect. So it is a general way of movement through which you can be placing here and easily we can be run in our system. Next we are going to discuss how to counting our words in a file. That means whenever user can create a file, in that moment user must to specify how many words are present in a specific Unix file. In that moment user can take the help of some commands. By using that command we can automatically retrieve the number of words which are used in our Unix system, which is also related in our previous programming language. If you consider as a Java, in the case of Java user can also easily count the length of a string. that may be 5, that may be 6, that may be 7, 8, whatever. User is writing a word, and that word must be considered as a string, and that string we can easily retrieve its length by using like a method, that method named as length. By using that length method, we can easily retrieve the length of a string or easily retrieve the length of a word. Now we can focus in the slide. In that slide, we are already defined some command like WC, and that WC is specially used for counting the word. That means user must write the command like WC, and that WC helps to count the word with a specific file name. That means if your file named as the file name, that is the name of a file. If you can set this file name with any other file name, then it can write that name. Whenever user can type that name, then automatically the statements which are present in that file name or file, and each statement must be counted the number of words in the line. The 2, 19, 103 is known as the number of words which are used in our file name process. And in this way we are also getting some section like here. The first column represents the total number of line in the file. That means this 2 represent as in the previous statement we are already using it, which is explained in the previous part. Here we have like your statement, just we can look out 1, 2. That means we have a 2 number of lines, which is already explained in this slide like 2. That means we have 2 lines, which is explained by your first column. In the second column, which represents the total number of words in a file. That means the number of words used in this section is represented our number of words present in this file name. And next we are learning in the third column always represents the total number of bytes in the file, which is the special actual size of a file. That means this is 103. That means your file name stored in the size like 103 kilobyte, maybe 103 megabyte, whatever, but it is represented in the size. And the fourth column known as a represents the file name. That means you are counting the number of lines, number of words, and number of sections which are used in your Unix system. We are getting through these 3 columns, but the last column is always represents the which file is specially used for the counting, and that file counting name is represented in this 4th column. Now we are going to learning how to use it, but here it is so easily to be used in our system, but here you can give multiple files and get information about those files at a time. The following is simple syntax here, WC, and the WC is always represented as a counting some words with a file name 1, 2, 3. The file name 1 you can write a specific file name, that may be anything else you can write here, and the file name 2 you can write another file name, 3 you can write more than 1 file names in this section, but here these 3 files are always counted its length very successfully and very reliable way on your monitor screen, so that user must be helps us to count very beautiful way its length of a word or length of a line and the size of a file, which is already represented in your previous slide. Next we are going to learning how to copying a file from one source to another source. In this section user must need to make a copy of a file, use the cp command. By using that cp command we can easily copying some files one source to another source by using a syntax like cp. Cp means copying a file. Here we are writing the source file name. In that source file name we are writing which file name specially used to copying one section to another section, and is a source section. Next one is a destination section. In the destination section user must write the second file name. That means the source content must be copied to the destination file name. Suppose you just imagine that here we are giving an example with the help of that cp is known as a copy file command. In that copy file command user must use a file name. In that file name we are storing 2 lines statement. That statement must be automatically moved to the this file named as copy file, and that in the copy file we must automatically copy its content of a file name to the copy file. That means whatever you can store in that file name, its content must be copied to this copy file section. So in this way we are automatically copied all contents of a file which is present in our file section, so that it is a general way of movement through which you can be executed or running it. But you will now find one more file, copy file, in your current directory. This file will exactly be the same as the original file name. That means its file name and the original file name should be equal, and if a user want to change its name, then there is no problem, and if that copy file name may be set as any other name, there is no problem, but the file name is known as the original name of a specific file, and its content should be copied to the copy file. So in this way we can easily copy some specific type of files content from the one source to another source, which is never affect to our system. Next we are going to discuss how to renaming our files in our Unix system. Here always user need to change its a file name. Here to change the name of a file by use the mb command. Here mb command used to change the file name. That means if a user can use that syntax here, mb means $sign is known as a, that is known as a Unix prompt. In that Unix prompt user must use like mb command. In that mb command helps us to renaming some file structure. Here we have a old file name, then we can write a new file name. That means by using that mb command we can change the old file content name to the new file content name without any complication. That means if a user want to write that file name known as the previous file name known as file name, but user want to make the current file should be renamed to new file. Whenever user can type new file is known as a new name of your file name. Whenever user can type this mb space file name is known as the old file name, then we are typing space, then typing the new file name, and in that new file name user must store your previous file. In that time user must press an enter. In that moment that file name must be renamed with new file. That it is a general procedure through which you can change the whole programming structure, and it helps us to counting its current section. So that here the mb command will move the existing file completely into the new file. In this case you will find only new file in your current directory. So that is a general way through which you can be process our file system, and it is a general way to represent our each and every file movements with a specific file name. So that user must take the help of another new concept which is known as mb command. It is a general process through which is known as the mb command, and that mb command is so successful helps us to renaming our old file name to the new file name. But it is not a Windows environment. By we know that by Windows environment we can easily renaming our files by clicking a buttons, but in the Unix system everything must be done through commands. Whenever user want to rename their file, user must use a command like mb command. Through that mb command user may represent their file name with a new file name by mentioning its file name structure, which is want to change it. Next, user want to create how to delete their files from their system. User must use the delete an existing file, use the rm command. That rm command helps us to remove our files which are present in our Unix system, but that must be represented through a syntax like $prompt means a C prompt means it is known as a Unix prompt, and in that Unix prompt we must use a command rm. Rm is known as a remove file command, and through that rm we can want to remove some content of a file which is saved in that file name. In that file name user must contain some text or statement, whatever user can be store it, which is already present in their environment. In that moment user must pressing a button. That button must be known as enter, and that enter section user must to write $prompt and rm, then the file name. Whatever files present in their sections in that file name, everything must be erased automatically or deleted automatically without any problem. Now we can focus on the slide. Here we have some extra lines which is explained here. A file may contain useful information which is always recommended, and to be careful while using this delete command. It is better to use I option along with rm command, means you can remove that file from our system. So it is a general way through which we can process our system execution statement, which is successfully run and successfully deleted from our file. Now we can focus here. If a user want to delete more than one file, user must to type this section. rm means remove file, or remove some, deleting some files with file name 1, file name 2, file name 3. That means by using this line, user may delete more than one file contents from their Unix system by using that rm command. So that rm command is help us to editing our files, or means to deleting as well as some editing, as well as whatever you want to say. That means everything is related to our manipulation of a file. In that moment we are taking the help of, that is known as your rm command. By using that rm command, we can successfully deleting each and every contents of files, that may be a single file or more than one files, which is successfully possible in our Unix system. Okay, finally, thank you. Have a nice day.